Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are going to cover time series forecasting. So, what is forecasting? Forecasting is the process of making predictions of the future based on past and present data by analyzing the trends within the data. So, at the broad level, we say that we are given a data, historical data. So, this data has some trends in it. We need to analyze the trends and other characteristics of the data, and based on that, we need to make predictions. That is, we need to forecast the future based on the trends that we have identified. At broad level, we can categorize forecasting methods into qualitative and quantitative. So what is a qualitative method? Qualitative method is also known as a judgmental method. Basically, in this method, we forecast based on the advice of the experts or the forecasters who make advice based on their knowledge, experience, or the intuition. So one such example is called as the Delphi method. So in Delphi method, the process is like forecasting process framework is based on the results of multiple rounds of questionnaires sent to a panel of experts. So basically, we have a panel of experts and a set of questionnaires is given to them. And after each round, the response from each of the expert is collected. And uh, after the round finishes, a feedback is given to each of the expert in terms of what the group as a whole is thinking about. uh, so this gives us an opportunity to individual expert to correct or to make some adjustments in their prediction, and this is repeated over a period of time. A number of rounds are repeated. So what happens ultimately after the multiple rounds of questions and the response by the panel, they more or less end up reaching to a common consensus. So this method is called as a qualitative method. Uh, so what we observe that in this method, we do not directly reach at any prediction. It's a iterative process, and it is based on the individual judgment, intuition of expert. So there are more chances of getting biased in such kind of uh, method. The other method is the quantitative method. So quantitative method is the one which is also called as the data-driven forecasting method. This relies on the fact that we have enough historical data, and this historical data has a pattern based on which we can predict the future. So with this method, we can capture more complex patterns which we cannot capture using the qualitative method. And this method has no bias because there is no human intervention directly uh, that is involved in making the prediction. And example of a quantitative method is a time series forecasting. So for the time series forecasting, we will understand some of the key terms. So what is a time series data? So basically a time series data is a set of observations which are collected over a sequence of time and separated by the equal time intervals. Let's say we could have a daily data or a monthly or a weekly or a quarterly data. So basically a fixed set of interval is defined, and for that interval we are going to collect observations. So time series data is basically, if we take an example like let's say we have a food ordering app which is used by people to order the food on the daily basis. So so the so the the company can collect the data like how much they are getting the order on the daily basis. Uh, so so that is actually a time series data. So the key thing is there is a time component which is involved in a time series data. So that is the key thing. And next term is a time series analysis. So the method of analyzing a time series data in order to extract some meaningful statistics and other key characteristics of the data is called as a time series analysis. So let's again take the food ordering app as an example. So this app might have the data over a period of let's say few months or an year, where the information is logged, and this information can be used to do some analysis like what are the time slots when the people are ordering food most. Let's say uh, one would notice that let's say at 1 to 2 p.m. But usually the just before the lunch time people will be ordering more compared to the other time slot like 3 to 4, when there will be less orders. And especially the kind of the food they order, whether they are ordering veg food or non-veg food on specific days, like uh, people not opting a non-veg food on specific days like Tuesdays or Thursdays or Saturdays, So that kind of characteristics and statistics we can extract from the data that we have at hand. So that is basically called as a time series analysis. So the main thing that we do is we extract the analysis and the key characteristics in our analysis based on the historical data. Now the next term is the time series forecasting. So time series forecasting is basically looking at the past data to make predictions into the future. So we have this example of food ordering app. So we have the historical data, we have done the analysis, we have identified some patterns. Now, using that as our base, we need to make a prediction of the future. Let's say we want to predict what will be the number of orders we are going to get in next 1 week or next 2 weeks and so on. So accordingly, we can plan whether we want to have more number of food delivery boys, at a specific time, and what type of food we need to prepare on which days, you know. Okay, now let's see what is the difference between the time series analysis and time series forecasting. So time series analysis comprises methods for analyzing the time series data in order to extract meaningful statistics and other characteristics of the data. So basically, we are analyzing the data and we are extracting the key characteristics of the data. So that is the time series analysis. Now, using this as a basis, we are making a forecast of the future values. So that is called as time series forecasting. So that's the basic difference between the time series analysis and time series forecasting. Now, some of the examples of time series analysis, let's say as an agricultural officer, one would want to find out what is the yield of the crops in the different districts year wise, and health officer would want to know what is the infant mortality rate in the state for the past few years. Sales manager would want to know what is the product units sold each day in the previous month. As a minister of the state would want to know what is the unemployment rate in the state. So basically, there are different examples which are time based, and based on that, the decisions can be made. Some new schemes, some new plans can be made by the government, by the company, uh, accordingly. Now, what are the basic steps involved in the time series forecasting? The first step is to define the problem. So there is a business problem, okay? So that problem needs to be defined, and it should be translated into the time series forecasting problem. So the business will be giving, okay, this is my problem. This is, let's say they can say that, let's say an airlines company say that they want to have a 90% occupancy on a specific route between two cities in the next 1 year. So that's their business problem. Now we have to convert it into a time series problem. So defining the problem, initially it may seem easy because it looks like you're simply asking the question, but actually it's a bit tricky problem because it requires you to know how the market works, what is your customer base, what is your competitor. So you have to spend time with the business people uh, to actually understand the problem and convert it into a time series forecasting problem, so that now accordingly you can work on it. Now once the problem is identified, okay, it is defined. Now next thing is you need the data, because for the time series analysis, time series forecasting, anything that you're going to forecast is based on your historical data. So definitely you need a historical data. Now there are three main characteristics that every time series data must exhibit so that a good forecast can be made. The one is the relevance. So the data that is given to you, it should be relevant with the problem that you are trying to solve. It shouldn't be like you are trying to solve problem and whereas the data given to you doesn't fit for that problem. So the data should be given, it should be relevant. That's number one. Second is accuracy. So because all your future predictions are going to be based on the data that is given to you, so it has to be accurate, because if there are some anomalies in the given data, then obviously your future predictions will turn out to be incorrect. So the data should be accurate. Now, when we say accurate, then it should be accurate in terms of the timestamps and the observations, because in a time series data, we have one critical component is the timestamp. So that is one thing, and other is what is the uh, value that is observed at that given timestamp. So these two things are very important. So these have to be accurate in the historical data. Then only you can make good prediction. And the third key thing is the long enough duration. So the data that is given to you, it should have a longer duration, because the longer the duration it is having, the more chances are you will be able to extract more information, more patterns, because there are few patterns which repeat after a period of time. They don't repeat in a very short span of time. So, and as a time series forecaster, you want to capture as many patterns and extract as much information as possible from the historical data. So it should be sufficiently long enough that you should extract the patterns which are coming even at some distance apart. Now we have different sources of the data. So one data you can get from within the company whose problem you are going to solve. Other data are available in the public domain. For example, um, government often publishes data like related to GDP, consumer price index, etc. So you can try to relate if there is any government data that you can utilize in your given problem, and it has any impact on the business problem that you're trying to solve, then you can utilize that. And then there is a system data. Now this data is there within the company in the form of a system, in the form of a logs. Taking an example of a, let's say, website. So every time people log into a website and they are doing some search and they are making some purchase, or maybe they are not making purchase, so everything gets logged. So this is information that is present in the logs. So you would want to utilize this information also, because this has a lot of detailed information, and if we can extract meaningful information from this system or the log information, then it will really help us in making a good or accurate predictions. So the next step in the time series forecasting is analysis. That is, we have to analyze the data. So first was identification of the problem, that is done. Now we have got the data, that is also done. Now we have to analyze the data. So analyzing the data means that we have to extract the patterns which are hidden in the data and other key characteristics, so that we can understand what our data is, and using this as a basis we can use a forecast model to make the future prediction. So once the analysis is done, obviously the next step is to build and evaluate the forecast model. So first we have to build our a model based on the business objective and the data available to us and the insights that we gathered in the data analysis. We identify one or two models that can be built, and we build those models, and then we evaluate on some test data and see which model is giving more accurate forecast, and based on the complexity and the usability of the model, we finalize on one model as our future model. Now, when we are forecasting, some of the key things that we need to consider are like what we are actually trying to forecast. Are we trying to forecast some stock price? Let's say you want to predict the uh, future price of a stock, or you want to predict the number of units of a product will be sold in the next coming quarter. So what is it that we are actually trying to predict is that we need to first quantify. Next is the level of granularity. Like what is the level that you are, what is the level of granularity, that is what is the depth up to which you are trying to forecast. Are you trying to forecast at the local level? Let's say are you trying to forecast sales at a local store level, or you want to trying to forecast sales at a city level or a region level or or national level? So so that is the one thing. Next is the frequency. That is how often you want to generate these forecasts. Let's say you want to generate these forecasts on a weekly basis or a monthly or the quarterly basis. That is, you want to uh, take new information that is available to you, and you want to include that information in your analysis, and again you are updating your forecast based on the new information. The next is how what is the horizon of the forecast, whether you are forecasting for a short period of time, medium period of time, or a longer period of time. Typically short period of time forecasts are used to resolve any operational stuff like number of orders that we're going to get next week, etc. Medium terms of forecast are like, for example, how many machines we need for next 1 year, or how many people we want to hire in a particular department, you know. And the long term forecasts are very strategic in nature. That is like we whether we should open a particular store in an area or not, and so that kind of thing is a long term forecast. And there are two main approaches to follow. One is the bottom up approach, and other is the top down approach. In the bottom up approach, we forecast at a very granular level, that is at a very store level, and then we aggregate the information. And let's say if we want to predict the sales at the regional level, then we aggregate it and we get at the regional level. Other approach, the inverse, is the top down approach. In the top down approach, we forecast at a very top level, which is the, for example, national level, and then we break it down into to reach at the regional level.